So basically, testing is divided into two ways. One is manual, another one is, I would say this is as manual and automation. Okay, two type of testings are there. But further, okay, the manual is one performed by a user manually. Okay, and this is one in which we write the actions in language. For that we use tools for it to do it. Okay, the tools can be tools. Now in the market there are different tools. The one is license, another one is open source. Okay, so the license tools that we are in the market are, you will heard name of UFT. UFT is a uniform functional tester. Its earlier name was QTP, quick test professional, but now they have changed its names to UFT. Okay, it is a product of HP. It's a product HP. License and open source means that if you are using a tool, if it is a licensed tool, you have to pay for it. Okay, it is not, you cannot download and start using it. An open source tool means that simple download and start using, don't have to pay anything out of it. Okay, no money to pay. Okay, so for this one open source, we will use, the main focus that we are going to cover in this session is Selenium. Okay, sometime you will see Selenium is also known as WebDriver. Okay, and it has a different version, it's known as WebDriver 3. Okay, I will tell you why it's known as 3 and what is 2. Okay, so before going to this one, these tools that we spoke, right, these both are functional tools. But in automation, we have different segregations. One is functional testing, okay, which we do through automation. Okay. But there is also known as non-functional. I'm just talking about automation. Okay, I will just go to the manual part later. I just want to give you a high picture of this. So non-functional means performance testing. Okay, performance testing, or you can say security testing, right? So what does a performance testing and security testing means? Okay, the performance testing is in which you check the uh, the behavior of an application. For example, if I have a bank site, right, Bank of America, if two users are using it, the application is working very fine, it's very fast. The moment you enter your username and password, hit login button, the homepage renders immediately. What if in case 1,000 users are hitting that application in one go, or 1 lakh users are hitting that application in one go? The performance of application will get degraded, or it might get crash also. To check to what extent this application supports the users, we do a testing known as performance testing. Okay, this performance testing is done by licensed tool as Load Runner, and they also have JMeter. JMeter is an open source tool. Okay, and there are many more. Okay, I'm just giving you an heads up on this one. Okay, and what does security testing means? The security testing means that you want to make sure that whatever you are doing, it's safe. For example, you have PayPal. Okay, for doing your transactions, you are entering your credit card details and all those. You have to make sure that in this side of application, your all details are not getting leaked, or the application is not getting hacked by someone. Okay, so that type, for to make sure that it is not hacked, we have security testing in which the user's information is not leaked out. Okay, so that type of testing is done by security testing. Okay, these are non-functional testing, but over here we have to only focus on functional testing. That would be manual, and with with these tools of function, this tool we are going to cover it. Okay, so going back to the testing, now we have manual and automation. So when it comes to manual testing, right? So we have type of testing in it. Okay, different type of testings, in it. Okay, and for this we also have test cases where we define the functionality, where we wrote all the functionality. Okay, and then we have traceability metrics to map all the stuff. I will go them one by one. Okay, so let me just give you what exactly we do in manual testing. Okay, if I give you an idea, then you'll be able to understand this stuff. So create an account. So my test case was to test that we have a feature in a Google that user is able to create an account easily or not. Okay, so what we generally do is we go to this link. Okay, we see that okay, my first name is there. I will enter my first name as QA automation, my last name as Selenium. I will give a email ID as automation123 Selenium, and I will give password as Selenium. Okay, so this was my test case. I have to test this application, right? So what we did is we open the URL, I enter my first name, I enter my last name, and then I just enter my username to it. This is what I'm generating it, right? Password, confirm password, and I click on next button. So it's saying that it is not a good password, so I will use something different from it, and I will click on next. Once clicking on next, this will come. So it will ask about the phone number. I'm just going to skip it. Okay, let's see. It won't allow me to do. It needs my birth. We'll give some random details to it. Gender also, and I will click on next. And if you see, it says that okay, all is done. I will just go to it and I agree, and this account is done. Okay, so all this what we did is a one type of testing, okay, which we generally do. I just gave you very high level what testing is all about. Okay, so basically testing requires, because you cannot remember everything, because for example you user has given his functionality in 100 documents. You have one functional requirements in 100 documents. You cannot go and learn everything, right? So what we will do, we'll divide that whole functionality into small chunks. Okay, small chunks means we are not going to write an essay on all those. Small chunks means okay, for module 1 we will create some documents which we can refer while doing testing, and for module 2 again we will create some documents, see also. So those documents are nothing known as test cases. Okay, so whatever they have written in English, we are just going to convert that in test cases, which would be covering our all scenarios, positive scenarios, negative scenarios, depending upon the whatever conditions we can think, what scenarios we can think. Okay, so are we good with this?
Yes.
Able to understand it, what I'm trying to say? So you want me to repeat?
I can.
Sorry?
You can.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let's start with, I will just tell you, we have a different type of testing. Manual testing is not only one type of testing, it has multiple testings under it. Okay, but I will go to that later. I will start with creating a test case, how a test case is, and how we read it, and how do we create it. Okay, every organization has a different template for it. Okay, it is not a standard. I would be using 4 columns to it, or 5 columns. Some companies might be using 10 columns. Okay, but we will get an idea how the test case are being written. Okay. Sample test cases. Okay. Okay. So this is my Excel. Okay. So what we will do is we need the sequence number. Okay. What exactly is the sequence number? Then we need test case name. Okay. Then we need description. Then we need steps. After that we need test data. Okay. So we'll start with one. Okay. My test case name is to create a Gmail user. Okay. Because this is my first functionality that I'm going to test, in which I'm creating my Gmail user. Okay. So what I will do, I will just go back to it. Okay. So we'll have this one, this as page. I will say description is, we don't need description. We will just go with directly with steps. My first step is open browser and enter URL in address bar. Okay. So enter URL. So URL is one that we need to specify over here. Test data. I will just go and I will hit. Okay, this is my URL. I'm done with my first step. Now I need to enter my username. So I will ask enter username in, or enter first name in first name field. What I can add, I can just give random, like learning Selenium. Okay. Then I will say enter last name in last name field. Okay, you will see why I'm using first name and last name. Okay, this first name is first space name, then last name space, right? Because I'm using the same what they have displayed. Earlier it would be, later it would be easy for which field we are referring to it, right? Then I will say, I will give last name as, okay, done. Then it would be enter email username in username field, new user to Selenium. Okay. Then I'm saying, okay, enter password in password field. Okay. New password 123. Okay. Then I'm saying enter password in confirmed field. I'm using the same one because it is a confirmed, right? So this is a one way to do it, right? This is how we proceeded. It is one. We'll just drag it in the series. Okay. Perfect. So you got the idea how to create a test case exactly, right? Because I'm just creating this through the UI that we have, right? But you will have a document which will have the screenshots for it, or what all steps the dev team is performed. They will have a specifications, right? Specifications would be, they would be have a document which would be stating, okay, enter username and password. When user click on next button, it will go to another screen, and that screen, how it looks like, it would be already there in the document, right? So let's try to execute this test case. Okay, I will just close this browser. We'll open new browser over here, and we'll pass open browser and enter this URL. Okay, I just enter it. Now what I'm trying to do is, for example, we have created, so we have written the test case, and development team, they have given you the application to test. How we are going to do is, we are going to open the test case that we have created for that functionality. This is the test case that we have created. So I will read this one. Or the another example, I would say, I wrote this test case, but tomorrow I'm not sure that I'm going to test it. You have to test it. This functionality. If we don't have this test cases, then again you have to go and read those specification documents and again and again. But if we have this test cases handy, then what you will do, you will follow this one step by step and perform your operations, right? So the test case is written by the tester, right? Yes, it is written by the tester. Okay. And it is from the functional document. It's from the function, taking reference from functional documents. Okay. Correct. Because and what about the data? Means the data is already given, or we need to create we have to create it. It depends. It depends. For example, if there are few test cases which are data dependent, there could be possibilities, right? Because there could be a functionality in which it says that, for example, there is country selections, right, on a page. We have India, US, UK, but they want only to be tested for US, and that to be with, because US has some SSNs in it, right, social security codes, numbers. So those are only, they want to test with the valid one, not with the invalid one, right? The dummy one. They want to test it with a real one. So in that case, that test data will be provided by the dev team, or by the another folks, or by the manager, because we don't have it. But in this case, it is a dummy one. That's we can create anything, whatever we want. Right? So going to step one, we took the username and we saw over here, right? Another one is enter first name in the first field. So this is my test data. I will copy it and I will paste that over here. Then it says that enter last name in last name field. It is done. I will paste it done over here. So what the step, it says that enter username in username field. So this is my test data. I will just copy it and I will paste it over here. Then it says that enter the password in password field. Copy it and I will paste it over here. And it says that, okay, enter the password in the confirm field. Copy it, I will paste it over here. Then we will create a test case night, like click on next button. Now in the case of clicking, right, there would be no test data, because we are not entering something, we are just taking an action to be get performed, right? In that case, this test case field would be blank. Just click on next. So you will get this field. Now over here, what we will say is, the next step would be enter phone number in phone number field. enter as whatever. No, 33 and 0. Okay, we entered that. We'll say okay, click on next button again. Okay, it's not allowing me because it has that code to be sent and all those. Okay, so suppose this was my functionality, right? So we are good with this one. We have the scenarios that we have created the test case. Similarly, we can create test cases for multiple scenarios as per the need. Okay, but I just want to give you a high level an idea how the test case looks like. Okay, so for example, this is my test case, right? What if in case how the test results looks like, how the test results would be, right? So what would happen is we will create another column by the name of test results. Okay, so this test result says that okay, if my this step is getting pass, we have executed it, we will just mark it as pass. If this is also getting executed perfectly, I will just say it as pass. If this is also getting created, pass. Okay, for example, till this point my everything got passed, but after this, at this point, when I am saying that after entering last name, username and all those, and I click on next button, I need to see this field, but this field is not coming. It took me to Gmail login page directly, for example. Okay, and we are expecting this page to get open. If we are not getting this page, before that, before entering it, we also need to see, add something. User should see page with label verify your phone number. It means that after clicking on next button, if it comes to this page, you should see this verify your phone number. If he's able to see this label, it is okay. If it is not, then it will get failed. We will mark it as fail. Okay, so if we are marking any step in a test case as fail, it means that the whole test case got failed. Right? Any confusion as of now? No. Okay. Okay. So generally, I'm taking an Excel to writing my test cases. Okay. But in industry, they have a space, a location where they keep their all test cases, right? Sometimes some companies use a tool known as ALM, which is also known as Quality Center, QC. QC and ALM both are same. It is again a product of HP. Okay, where we write the test cases and test cases would be stored over there. It is a central repository. So what happens, for example, if we don't have a central repository, okay, you wrote your test cases, you kept on your machine. I wrote my test cases, I kept on my machine. You wrote your test cases, you wrote on your test machines. But if I need to execute your test cases, what I will say, okay, Nitin, send me all the test cases. Do you think this is a good way to do it? Because if in this case, if you have 1,000 test cases, every day I will ask you to send me the 1,000 test cases. No. What we will do, we will write all the test cases at one centralized location where you will also upload your 100 test cases. You will also upload your 100 test cases and I will also upload my 100 test cases. Tomorrow, if I want to execute your test cases, I will go to that location and I will get all the test cases from there. So this, for this one team, the companies, they are using a tool known as ALM, Quality Center. Okay, where it's a central repository where we dump all the created test cases. And even in Quality Center, you don't need this Excel. They already have their format defined in this manner, whatever we seeing on Excel. So you can directly write your test cases over there. Okay, is okay? Anything confusion you have? It's okay. Okay. Let me see if I am able to see any sample of a quality center on Google to show you how test case looks on it, right? You will get a clear picture of it. Okay. Okay. So if you look right, this is a picture of it. Is that visible to you?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just increase the font. Okay. Perfect. So basically, this is a one component of that tool. Okay. If you see, right, in Excel we wrote sequence 1, 2, and all those, right? But they also have similar part, but little bit of modification in the column names, step name, description, and expected result. Okay. Okay. My mistake. I just missed. We are entering it, but before this one, we have two components, two parts, which is known as uh, expected results and okay. So this expected results means that what we are expecting, right? So it means that when we say that open browser and enter URL in a, address bar, it should be user should be able to enter URL in address bar. When it comes to first name, we will say that user should be able to enter first name in first name field. Similarly, we will create all this, right? So this is what we are expecting. And there would be one more column which is known as actual results. So some people they keep it as actual results, or someone say that a test results itself, right? So with help of this expected results, we will make sure that the test case is getting passed or failed. Okay. So over here in QC, you will see the same way, like enter the username in the username field. That user should be able to enter the username field successfully. Then when it comes to the password field, user should be able to enter the password in the password. So the format is same in QC and quality QC and with in Excel, but the only difference is it's already being written in quality center, and over here we are writing in an Excel sheet. I will share this sample test case with you guys. Okay. Okay. You can go to any of the site like Michael Kors or any different website and try to create your own test cases. Till the time you don't write your test cases, it you won't be able to understand in a better way, right? It will take some time, but if you able to create like 3 or 4 test cases, next time you will be very good to understand. And the worst benefit of these test cases is we will read all these steps for doing automation. This is what we will get from manual team. Automation engineer, they never create this one. Automation team, I would say, they never create the test cases. We always get the test cases from the manual team. And this is what they will share to us. They will share to us, and we will start doing scripting according to these steps, all these steps. But we will put some more conditions to it, because they are saying enter the username. A user should be able to enter the username, but in automation we will follow the same hierarchy, but we will put some more validations to it. What if in case user is not able to see the first field? There could be possibilities that when someone has hit this URL, it says that page cannot be displayed. If it is not getting displayed in scripting, we will put all those exceptions to handle it and make condition pass and fail. Okay. So far